Ready? Go. Oh, who shall from this dungeon rise, a soul enslaved so many waves, with bolts of bones that feathered stands, in feet and malaced in hands, here blinded with an eye, and there death with the drumming of an ear, a soul hung up as 'twere in chains of nerves and arteries and veins, tortured beside each other part, in a vain head and double heart.
Oh, who shall me deliver whole from bonds of this tyrannic soul, which stretched upright impales me so, that mine own precipice I go, and warns and moves this needless frame, a fever could but do the same, and wanting where its spite to try, has made me live to let me die. A body that could never rest, still, since this ill spirit is possessed.
What magic could me thus confine, within another's grief to pine, where whatsoever it complain, I feel that cannot feel the pain, and all my cares itself employs, that to preserve which me destroys, constrained not only to endure diseases, but what's worse, the cure, and ready oft the port to gain, am shipwrecked into health again.
But physic yet could never reach the maladies thou me dost teach. From first the cramp of hope does tear, and then the palsy shakes of fear. The pestilence of love does heat, or hatred's hidden ulcer eat. Joy's cheerful madness does perplex, or sorrow's other madness vex, which knowledge forces me to know, and memory will not forgo. What but a soul could have the wit to build me up for sin so fit? So architects do square and hew green trees that in the forest grew.
Go. Okay, so we're gonna analyze a dialogue between the soul and the body by Andrew Marvell using soapstone. Okay, so S in soapstone stands for speaker. There's two speakers in the poem, the soul and the body. The soul is obviously mad about the entrapment inside of the body, and he's very whiny. He complains a lot, and he wants to escape. And the body complains a lot too, but not as much as the soul. And he claims that the soul acts maliciously. The body also thinks that it is worse off because the body can deteriorate, but the soul gets to go to heaven. Okay, O in soapstone stands for occasion. The occasion is that the soul and the body are fighting back and forth about who has it worse and who is worse off, so it's just them going back and forth on what they're doing, I guess. Okay, the audience in the poem, they're kind of, the soul and the body are just addressing each other. They're going back and forth. So the body is addressing the soul, kind of, and the soul is addressing the body, but they're also both addressing the reader in their hardships. The purpose of the poem is that it represents the internal conflict within man. So the author kind of explains that there needs to be a compromise between the body and the soul in order for a person to achieve harmony, and that intuition and perception rely on each other, so you can't just have one and not the other. The subject of the poem is the stress between the soul and the body and how they interact with each other. The body feels that because the body can die and deteriorate, that it has it worse off versus the soul who gets to go to heaven. But the soul feels that because of its entrapment within inside of the soul, that it has to endure all the physical pain of the body, that it has it worse off. And the tone of the poem, so you could kind of argue it from both ways, that they both have some of these adjectives, but you could say that the soul is sad, upset, and cynical, and that the body is more aggressive, combative, and argumentative.